Good morning to all of you. I hope that you're all doing well. This is me, Sayyid Shujatullah. Today, we'll start our budget series. Okay, we are going to complete our budget details, the allocations, the very basic facts, okay, and who has presented the budget more number of times, less number of times, and the changes that we have got in the budget presentation over a period of time. So many things, very interesting facts we are going to talk in our subsequent lectures. Okay, so this particular series is very important if you are going to write any competitive examination in our country or with respect to our TSPSC or APPSC, regional or MPPSC, whatever it is. But budget is very common, it's a union budget. Okay, so will be helpful for definitely for the all upcoming examinations, right? So let us go ahead. Fine. So 2022, if I ask you one question, who has presented the budget? So everyone is maybe thinking this way, right? Sir, this is Nirmala Sitharaman madam has presented. Yes, you are right. The budget is presented by our Women Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay, let us start discussing about the budget. Basically, I have to tell you, see, whatever we do here in a sense, whatever the government do, again, government is again of what? Executives. Okay, executives, some are elected, some are recruited, right or wrong? Executives are those people who generally carries out. Executives are those people who generally carries out administration of country, administration of the country. Those are called as executives. And basically we are having two types. One group of executives which are elected, we call them as politicians, and another group of executives which are actually recruited, or you can say which are actually recruited or appointed, we call them as what? Bureaucrats. We call them as what? Bureaucrats, nothing but IAS, IPS, all state level officers, also MROs, etc. Everyone comes under that. Recruited or appointed executives, and elected executives are what? Politicians. I'm talking about these people. Whatever the government does, it has to do within a holy book of our country, that is called as Constitution. Any functions they are performing, whether politicians are performing, whether parliamentarians are performing, whether assembly, MLAs are performing, whoever are performing, whether this group or this group, they have to act within the Constitution. They have to act within the Constitution. It means when the budget is being presented in our country, then it has to have its mention in the Constitution or not, because everything to be done within the framework of Constitution, within that limitations of Constitution, within that provisions of the Constitution. Getting my point here? So budget is being presented, it means what? There is a mention of this budget in the Constitution. Not exactly the word basically, but budget has to be presented in a normal terminology, we call it as budget. So of course you are right that under Article 112 of our Constitution, under Article 112 of the Constitution, it is clearly mentioned the government need to present a annual financial statement, AFS. Annual financial statement is what? Means how much the government has earned, which is called as, in our budget terminology, we call it as revenue. How much the government has earned and how much is government is spending, which we call it as what? Expenditure. So there are always two components to the budget. One is revenue, one is expenditure. Okay, this is only called as annual financial statement. Another important point you have to remember, in any articles of the Constitution, either in the Article 12 or any articles in the Constitution, there is the word budget is not mentioned. BUDGET, not mentioned. It is mentioned in this way, annual financial statement. Okay, what is this statement? Statement is nothing but your account statement, 1 month, Okay, what do you see in your account statement? You will see that how much money you have received and where you have done all the expenditures, right? All the expenditures. You might have went to movie. You might have went for what dinner. You might have given some money to your, transferred money to your friend, right or wrong? Or whatever you have got, it could be your salary. It could be you have borrowed money from someone else, right? Yes. It could be anything. It could be anything. So you are what actually is doing here. Annual financial statement is generally giving you the idea of how much money the government has got and how much money the government is doing the expenditures. This is called as annual financial statement. So some things are very much clear here. Okay. Right. Some GK facts let us see. Okay, see this person, a very handsome person is there. Okay. James Wilson. Who is he? James Wilson. For the very first time, someone has presented a budget in India. It is by James Wilson. And he did it in the year 1860, April 1860. You can correlate this particular 1860 also. 1860 is after 1857 revolt. So if the question comes that the first budget is presented before 1857 revolt or the first budget is presented after 1857 revolt, so what could be your answer? Your answer should be the first budget is presented after the 1857 revolt. And is it presented by an Indian? This is the second question. No, it is presented by a British person. Okay, Wilson. And he belongs to East India Company. Fine. And this is how he looks. Then we got independence in the year 1947. Then the first finance minister of our country, Shanmukham Chetty. Shanmukham Chetty. So we got independence on August 15th, right? Okay. August, September, October, November, 4 months. After 4 months, the India's independent first budget was presented on 26th November 1947, a very important date and very important month and very important year. Okay. By then finance minister, means at that time the finance minister was Shanmukham Chetty. Okay. He is more better and more handsome than James Wilson. Anyhow, we are Indians, so we have to like him more than anybody else. Fine. So some basic facts I have given to you. Let us go ahead. Okay. Longest budget speech. Always longest budget speech. Who has given the longest budget speech? It is like Nirmala madam only. Because 2 times she has broke her own record. Okay, I guess 1 time she has broke her own record. Nirmala Sitharaman madam holds the record for delivering the longest speech. And when she spoke for 2 hours 42 minutes. This is not this time. This is the this particular 2 hours 42 minutes is the last time budget. But longest budget, she holds the record. She holds the record that she has the longest budget presentation. Okay, in time. Okay. Most words in the budget speech. Okay. Most words in the budget speech, 18,650 words. Manmohan Singh. Means the number of words which finance minister has used when presenting the budget, it is Manmohan Singh. Okay. And this particular, okay, the most words were used during the 1991 LPG reforms when we are having the first South Indian Prime Minister Narasimha Rao. Obviously a Teluguite. Okay. Fine. So at that time you know that 1991 a very huge enquiry was there. Okay, and you know that 1991 reforms, we got liberalization, we got globalization, we got privatization. So government need to explain to the people that why we are going for this kind of system. We have been a socialistic economy before 1991. Then what is that made them to change from socialist to the mixed, or you can say the more towards capitalistic economy. So lot of the explanation they have to do to the countrymen, to the various stakeholders, to the media, okay, to the business units, etc. Okay, that's why Manmohan Singh holds the record of longest budget speech words. Okay, shortest budget speech words 800. Only 800 words were used by Hirubhai Mulljibhai Patel. Hirubhai Mulljibhai Patel delivered the shortest budget speech in the year 1977. 1977 is also very important, my dear student, because it is the year for the very first time a non-Congress, means the person who does not belong to Congress. Okay. For the very first time in the year 1977, non-Congress Prime Minister was elected to our country, Morarji Desai. Non-Congress first Prime Minister, Morarji Desai. So it has got some important event also in our national scenario, 1977. So it was famous for that. It was famous for this also. Okay, fine. Budget presentation date changed. Remember this point here. Most number of budgets are presented by former Prime Minister Morarji Desai. Presented 10 budgets. After him, the second highest budgets were presented by P. Chidambaram, 9. Pranab Mukherjee, 8. So if you are remembering only 3 also, that is enough. Okay. Morarji Desai. Okay, you can see him. Okay, you might have not seen our Prime Minister also, Morarji Desai, the first non-Congress PM. So you can see him. Okay, he belongs to Janata Party. Like the Janata Party, today's Bharatiya Janata Party, at that time in the year 1977 was only JP, Janata Party. Okay, fine. So he holds the record of presenting more number of budgets. 10 times he has done it. 10 times he has done it. Okay, fine. Until 1999, the budget, obviously, we have to always call union budget because central government also present the budget in our country and state government also present the budget in our country. Okay, so we are having 2 budgets presentation, one by the center, one by the state. That's why we are calling here union budget, because this budget, whatever the budget we are learning, it is of union budget. Till 1999, the union budget was presented at 5 p.m. on the last working day of February. Last working day of February, 28th February, the budget was presented at 5 p.m. Okay, as per the British era practice. But former Prime Minister Yashwant Sinha in 1999 changed the budget presentation timing to 11 a.m. Okay, means from 1947 to 1999, budget was always presented at 5 p.m. and at the last day of the February. But he did not change the date. Sorry, he did not change the day, but he changed the time. Time he did not keep 5. He has started presenting the budget at what? 11 a.m. Okay, date also changed with after coming the Modi government. Date also changed, but we will study in a sequence manner. Okay, Arun Jaitley started presenting the union budget on February 1 in 2017. See, then here the time has changed. Here last day of working day has become what? First working day of February. If February 1 is a Sunday, then February 2 it will be presented. Okay, so time has changed by Yashwant Sinha and date has changed by Arun Jaitley. Fine. So 1st February 2017. From 2017, it means what? BJP government also from 2014, 15, 16, 3 years they presented the budget on the last day of February. Then they changed it to what? The 1st February. Okay. Fine. Language. Until 1955. 1955 is also famous for what? 1955 is also famous for Citizenship Amendment Act of 1955. A very controversial act at this point of time, very burning act at this point of time, but a correlation is there here. 1955. Okay. The union budget was presented in English. The union budget was presented in English. Okay. However, Congress government from 1955, Congress-led government has decided to present the budget papers both in Hindi and English. So they will ask you in the examination, sir, why is it that we are learning in detail? The question may come in your mind. So it's very common because for lower cadre examination, they can ask you anything. If I don't tell you, you might see in Manorama, you might see in India yearbook, then you will feel it important. So better is that whatever we are learning, just make a short note of it, but make sure that you remember it. That is the most important criteria the student should do. Fine. So language, okay, 1955. So they may ask you in the examination. Okay, since the time of independence, okay, till 1955 budget is presented both in English and Hindi. Till 1955. Means wrong. Till 1955, the budget is presented only in English. After 1955, budget is started being presented both in Hindi and English. Not exactly presented, published. Okay. Paperless. Okay. For the very first time, everyone studied in what? Tablet. The budget was studied in the tablet. Okay, COVID-19, because of COVID-19 pandemic, turned the budget for 2021 to 2021 paperless. A first in independent India, without paper a budget has been presented. That is in the year 2021 to 2022. Okay. Then budget presented by women. Budget presented by women. We are having Indira Gandhi ji 1970-71. So you can see, if you have never seen Indira Gandhi ji, you can see her. Dynamic Iron Lady of the country, we call it as. Okay. We call her as. Then the second woman minister that has presented, the second woman who worked as a finance minister and presented the budget is still Nirmala Sitharaman. Nirmala Sitharaman. From last 2-3 years, she is only presenting. Okay. So remember one point here, there is one important analysis. They may ask you in the examination, the woman minister who worked as a prime minister and also finance minister. Okay. So she is the only one. Woman presenting the budget. Indira Gandhi ji, okay, she was the PM also, prime minister also, she was the finance minister also. Nirmala madam, she is only finance minister. She is only finance minister. Okay, this could also be a question. Okay. Now, difference here you see. This is, you know, that our former president, okay, who belongs to West Bengal, Pranab Mukherjee. Okay. So whenever he used to come, all the budget papers are there here. Okay. A leather briefcase is there in his hand. Leather briefcase. Okay. After the Congress government, from 2014 onwards, Nirmala madam is carrying a handloom cloth, okay, covering the what budget papers. A handloom cloth covering what budget papers with emblem, with India emblem in the middle. Emblem in the middle. Okay, right. So this is another change. So first of all, Yashwant Sinha has changed time or date? Tell me fast. Yashwant Sinha has changed time or date? Sir, date. No sir, time. Time or date? Time. Okay. So 5 p.m. he made to what? 11 a.m. Okay. Then Arun Jaitley, what has he done to the budget? Sir, date. Okay, right. So 28th February, okay, he changed the date of presentation of budget from 28th February to 1st February. Right. Another important change, leather briefcase was changed to handloom cloth, okay, covered in that papers, budget papers are covered. This, the BJP government called this as Bahi Khata. They call it as what? Bahi Khata. Khata means what? Account. Khata means account. Okay, fine. Then another important thing again happened, another important change happened. Okay, railway budget. Till 2017, since the time of independence, since the time of independence from 1947 to 2017, railway budget was present. Actually, the date was presentation of was like this. 26th February, economic survey used to come. 27th February, railway budget used to come. 28th February, union budget used to come. General budget, we call it as general budget used to come. This was a sequence. Okay, you know that first of all, budget has been changed. Budget has been changed. Okay, all these have been changed anyhow. Okay, now 27th February railway budget, 28th February general budget. This two was presented separately until 2017. Separate railway budget. Railway minister used to start up in the parliament and he starts telling about the railway performance, okay, the railway prices, the railway revenues, etc. Separate budget was there for railway. Then the very next day, union budget, that is general budget, was prepared. Was what actually told to the parliament or told to the countrymen. Okay, after 2017, these two got merged. Railway budget and general budget got merged. So you can understand that the BJP government has changed the time, that changed the date, okay, and merged what? And merged railway budget and union budget. Fine. After being presented separately for 92 years, the railway budget was merged in the union budget in the year 2017. In the year 2017. Understood? Right. Now let us discuss about iconic budgets. Iconic budgets are nothing but it's something not Salman Khan or Shah Rukh Khan or Prabhas or Arjun is not presenting the budget. Okay, iconic budget means which has got some significant change. Okay, a circumstances was there, a circumstances which is very much defining in nature, which is very much significant in nature. The conditions of the country was maybe too bad, maybe too good, could be like that. Okay, so that is called as what? Iconic budgets. First one, let us see the black budget. You might have never heard about this, but still I should say that there's a black budget presented. Why this was presented? Okay, so India was suffering from acute financial distress. Means India government does not have money. We only give money to the government? No, we only pay to the taxes to the government. India does not have money. So lot of if India does not have money, the government does not have money, then who should build the roads? Then who should build the dams? Who should uplift the poverty? Who should provide food grains to the poor people? Right or wrong? So India was in a financial stress. Okay, so that's why the budget is called as black budget. Very sadly it was presented. Very sadly it was presented. Okay, it was presented by Yashwant Rao B. Chavan. So you can see him. Okay, in the Indira Gandhi government. It was called as black budget as a fiscal deficit, okay, during the year was rupees 550 crore. Rupees 550 crore. This was huge, my dear students, at that time. Very, very huge. Okay. So remember one point, what is the meaning of fiscal deficit? Please remember this. Okay. Father is there. Father is having 10,000 salary. Okay. And father has a family of 5 members. Father and father wife and 2 or 3 children. So father's salary is 10,000 and their expenditures are 20,000 in Hyderabad. So they are short of, father is short of 10,000, right? Okay. Father borrowed from A. Father borrowed from A 10,000 rupees. So 20,000, 10,000 plus 10,000, father got 20,000 and he is able to fulfill the expenditures. Rent, electricity, school education, okay, transportation charges, he is able to fulfill. Okay, this is in the month of January. Then February 2022. February 2022, again father will get 10,000 salary. How much is his expenditure? 20,000. How much is his expenditure? 20,000. Again father will ask 10,000 from B. Father will ask 10,000 from B. Okay, but in this 10,000, whatever father has earned, no? Whatever the father has earned 10,000 rupees, in this 10,000, 1,000 will go in the form of interest payment to the previous person A. A gave 10,000 not for free. A gave 10,000 and told to the father that, okay, I am giving you 10,000, you give me 1,000 interest rate. So father earned in February 10,000, 1,000 he has given to A as interest rate. Father has now only 9,000. Father has only 9,000, but father expenditures are how much? 20,000. Then father has to borrow how much from B? 11,000, right or wrong? 11,000. Then again in the March, father income is how much? 10,000. Father 2,000 are going for what? Paying 1,000 interest to A, 1,000 interest to B. So father is left with only 8,000 now. Father expenditure is how much? 20,000. Okay, like that, if it goes continuously, the total family will collapse. Total family will collapse. This is only called as fiscal deficit. If government is getting less revenues, but expenditures are more and more and more, government is getting less revenues, then what will happen? Government start borrowing from World Bank, government start borrowing from IMF, government start borrowing from US, government start borrowing from UK, government start borrowing from Dubai Prince, Saudi Prince, like that. Okay, and what they'll do? They'll say that, okay, we want your act like this, we want a place like this. They will start buying assets in our country. They'll start buying assets in our country. And when government of India sell the bonds to them to raise money, okay, 100 rupees bond is value is there before. Now they will ask in 80 rupees. So our worth as a nation will continuously deteriorate and they start controlling our nation. Okay, that is the biggest problem the fiscal deficit have. Okay, the details of that definitely I'll tell you in my later classes. But till this point, you please remember what is the meaning of fiscal deficit. What happens when fiscal deficit is huge? If the fiscal deficit is huge, this cycle will happen. Okay, fine. So black budget was presented by Yashwant Rao. Okay, because India was suffering from acute financial distress of fiscal deficit 550 crores. Then we are having carrot and stick. Carrot and stick budget is nothing but I'll give you carrot, eat it, enjoy it. But if you do wrong, I'll punish you. So I am having stick also for the people, for the companies. I am also, carrot also is there. So this is called as carrot and stick budget. It was presented by VP Singh. VP Singh. Okay. So this budget, dismantling license Raj. Dismantling license Raj. Okay. It was called as carrot and stick budget because it offers, this budget has rewards for people and it has stringent punishments for those who violate the provisions of the government, those who violate the laws of the government, those who are caught because of corruption, etc. So they will be punished. Okay. In this particular budget, the very important mod VAT, later on it was changed into what? GST also. Okay, now it is GST. This is not there. Any value added taxes are not there. Any indirect taxes are not there. Okay. It introduced mod VAT, modified value added tax credit for lowering the cascading effect of the act. Okay. That consumers have to pay, launching an intense drive against the smugglers, okay, black marketers and tax evaders. So the government launched very elaborate drive to punish those who are smuggling, those who are black marketing things, those who are tax evading. So that's why these are punished. That's why it is called as what? Stick. And this is also a very good for us, carrot. Government understood that the modified value added tax is important, okay, for the consumers. So regarding that, you will study in detail later. But remember this point, why it is calling as carrot and stick. Okay. Another one is epochal. Epochal means very significant. Epochal meaning is what? Very significant, very important. Okay. It was presented by Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister of our country, 2 times Prime Minister. Okay. Manmohan Singh in the year 1991, again during the period of P.V. Narasimha Rao. Okay. So in this particular budget also, license Raj was removed and it led to the economic liberalization, which is known as epochal budget. It's very significant budget because in this particular 1999 only, LPG reforms has been introduced and that has changed the scenario of the economic structure and economic activity of our country and allowed more foreign investments and allowed the domestic manufacturers to open industries, okay, without any license. They just have to take a GST number, or you can say that a tax number they have to take and they have to just get it registered. That's all. But presented at a time when India was again the brink of economic collapse. Black budget and this budget was presented when India was at the economic collapse, at the cliff of the economic collapse. Okay. Why? Because, and in this particular budget, custom duties were slashed to 220%, okay, to 150%, and took lot of steps, government took lot of steps to promote exports, because if we exports only, if I give you my product, you will give me money. If I give you my product, you will give me money. If you are in need of my product continuously, today I will give 1 jalebi at 1 rupee. Tomorrow after 10 days, I will say that no, 1 jalebi is 1.5 rupee. Like that, what will happen? So your money, my money, okay, will be pegged with each other with respect to what? Demand and supply. So you are demanding my more money, so I will increase the prices. So my money will get strengthened. My money will get more value. Right. So remember this point here. Then dream budget, P. Chidambaram in the year 1997-1998, P. Chidambaram presented a dream budget, okay, which uses Laffer curves principle to lower tax rates and to increase collection. Tax rates was very high at that time. 40% corporate tax is there. Now it is only 18 or 17%. We'll look into that budget for sure. Okay, but recently, okay, before this budget was there, it is 18%. Okay. Laffer curves says what? Laffer curve says that here government revenues, here tax rates. Laffer curve is inverted U, my dear students. Laffer curve is what? Inverted U. Laffer told that maximum taxation the government can do is 50%. 10% tax, 20% tax, 30, 50, 70, 100. Maximum taxation government can collect 50%. If government is collecting more than that, okay, more than that, what will happen? Government revenues will come down. See, come down. This is government revenues, no? So 50% government can collect highest revenues. If government, see how much I am earning. If 50% government is taking, I don't mind. Out of 1000 rupees, government takes 500 me, it's okay. That is the maximum tax rate. But if I earn 1000, government takes 600, 700, will I like to work? I will be lazy or not? I will not go to the, I will bunk my industry, I will bunk my work, I will take a lot of leaves. Right or wrong? I want to be leisure. I will not be that productive also. I will work very lazily also. Why? Because how much I am earning, 70% is going to the government only. 30% what I can do. There is no ambitions, there is no aspirations. So I will be less productive. Out of 8 hours, I will be like very slowly working and giving very less productivity. Okay. So Laffer curve says that if government taxes more than 50%, okay, the government revenues will come down because people will not like to work. Because more than 50% if you are taking, what is that enthusiasm? What is that passion for them to work? Right or wrong? Yes. Fine. That's why he slashed the maximum marginal income tax rate from individual from 40% to 30%, right? Individual tax 40%. Now income tax is what? 3 lakh, this much percent, 5-10% is there. No. He is a person who has first started what? Decreasing the income taxes from 40 to 30. Domestic companies to 35% only they have to give. Voluntary disclosure of income. You say no. There are many people who does not know that. They say that they think that BJP's the government only took lot of steps to bring back black money. Okay. No, my dear students, even Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, even Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, 1985, the first crop insurance scheme, 1985, Rajiv Gandhi, comprehensive crop insurance scheme. Okay, then Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, again in the Modi government, it was already launched in the year 1969, okay, by the Indira Gandhi government, which is called as lead bank scheme. Again in the year 2011 also they have got. So every particular scheme has every government, I'm not saying this or that government, I'm not saying that, I'm saying that every government, they did their best. The only thing is people are not aware of it. Fine. So voluntarily income disclosure of income scheme to recover what? Black money. Okay. Then referred to as dream budget, as the custom duties are slashed to 40% and it simplified the excised duty structure. Means you can see that if you see all the points, there is something for everyone. Okay. This is for us, income. Okay. This is for corporates. This is for black marketing people. Okay. This is again for exporters and importers. So it means what? This is a dream budget for everyone. Everyone had got very, very happy because of this budget. That's why this budget is called as dream budget. Then Millennium Budget was presented by Yashwant Sinha in the year 2000. 2000 millennium. How lucky he was. Okay. So because of his budget, IT sector in our country has thrived. IT sector during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee period, IT sector has thrived during his period. Okay. Phased out incentives on software exporters. Software exporters, okay, phased out incentives. So no more perks and privileges for the software exporters. Lowered again custom duties on 21 items such as computers and computer accessories, because he wants all of us to use what? Headset. He wants all of us to use what? Mobile. So that is possible only when custom duties decreases. So for us, for all of us, which whatever we are having computers, etc., it was their efforts who continuously they have made over a time, one over a time, another over a time, over a year and a year. They did, they bring lot of things to make us more better in our living standards, to make us more better in living standards. So Yashwant Sinha, okay. So sir has decreased what? Custom duties on 21 items, mainly computer and computers. That's why we are having this smart board also today. Right. Then rollback budget, again presented by Yashwant Sinha. 2002 to 2003. Okay. It was under the Prime Ministership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Okay. Why it is called as rollback budget? Because whatever many proposals were put forward, many things were already in existence. So in this particular budget, all of them are taken back, rolled back. Okay. Several proposals in it were withdrawn. When the budget was presented, the Yashwant Sinha has announced, we are giving this, we are giving that, etc., etc. Government has said, okay, Manrega scheme we are giving this much, metro for we are giving this much, for defense we are giving this much, for space we are giving this much. So he has made lot of proposals, but many proposals were taken back. That's why it is called as what? Rollback budget. Okay. Once in a century budget presented by Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am on February 1, 2021. Okay. And she called it as once in a century budget. Okay. Why? Because India want to look to revive Asia's third largest economy. Okay. And we want to invest more in infrastructure and healthcare. while relying on an aggressive privatization strategy and robust tax collection. Okay, aggressive privatization, you can know that. Again, the BJP government usually, usually they have the nature of what, that is very good also. Okay, if the companies are not performing, what you will do? If your asset is not performing, what you will do? If BSNL is not performing, see, if you cannot do, give it to somebody else, right? Okay, Air India, you are not able to manage. Okay, government is not able to manage Air India, so they sold it to Tata. Okay, like that, if you're not able to manage a particular asset, if you are not able to manage a particular company in profitability, then why to have it? So it's good only, sell it. Okay, give it to privatization. There's no wrong in that. Okay, but they have this capitalistic mentality. BJP government has a capitalistic mentality, means they want more capitalism, they want more faster growth, because they believe that the private sector can thrive, can take the economy to the upward trend. Obviously, that is also true, because Tatas, Ambanis, Birlas, Adanis, they are having good skilled people. Okay, they recruit good people. Okay, they are very good businessmen. They can make the things more profit and generate more employment. That is also right. So everyone is right in their own sphere. Fine. So Nirmala Madam has presented once in a century budget. In this budget, more privatization, more selling of government assets is one important criteria, and tax collections were given importance, and more privatization, government will get money, robust tax collection, government will get money. This money, government want to invest in what? Infrastructure projects, just like dam, just like road, just like interlinking of rivers. Okay, Sagarmala project, Bharatmala project, state highways, national highways, for that project. Infrastructure projects, the money which they are getting in this strategies, privatization and tax collections, they are going to do the expenditures on infrastructure and healthcare. So this is all about different types of budgets.